Hi, everybody. Here we are for day three. Day three. Let me just check the volume here. Oh, yes, I'm glad I did that. Day three of our daily practice, our meditation practice, contemplation practice of just staying present, being the presence that you are to politics and the pandemic, to all that's happening in the world. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about empathy. There's a lot of that was going around when the president was diagnosed with the coronavirus. People saying, oh, you can't be mean, you can't wish him ill, he needs to be empathy, you all need to display empathy. People saying, well, he hasn't displayed any empathy, why does he deserve that? So there's a lot circling around empathy. Really about sort of keeping your heart open in the face of people who you might not feel deserve empathy, deserve love or compassion. Somehow they haven't earned it. You want to hold on to it. And it can be very hard in the face of people who feel like, you feel like you're being antagonized, they're attacking you, that they don't want you in the world to stay open-hearted, to keep your heart open and not lock it down, not respond in a way that feels very bitter or brittle. And yesterday was a big day too. I was feeling it here when I read about Justices Alito and Thomas basically saying that they thought that they should overturn Obergefell, which is the landmark decision basically making gay marriage constitutionally protected. And that was only 5 years ago. So it can be very hard. So what I want us to explore today is just what it means to kind of keep the heart open and keep empathy there when you feel that the other side doesn't deserve it. So just kind of take a deep breath with me. Sit back. Just notice what's coming up for you when you start to think about being empathetic to people who you feel really don't deserve. Publicly announce that they're hostile to your existence. Very hard. Can you still meet them with a certain love and compassion? And just notice if your heart feels like it wants to kind of tighten up, strict. Might even be like, nope, not you. This heart, no. You can see how, that kind of hatred then elicits another response. It's hatred. It's very hard, very challenging. We're watching all that's unfolding. My heart felt very restricted yesterday too when there was an announcement that the relief package was put on hold until after the election. How cruel. It's people who are desperately and suffering financially and economically. Financially, economically, work prospects can be dim. And I think empathy is really about staying true to who you really are at your core. Empathy is really about staying true to the love that you are. And that can be difficult. You might be thinking, oh, it means you're letting them off the hook, you're letting them get away with this bad behavior. And that's not necessarily the case. You could We're here to cast our votes and exercise our rights to choose who runs our country. And I encourage everyone to vote. And at the same time, you can still kind of hold on to a sense of compassion, a sense of empathy, a sense that these emotions that people are displaying are valid in the sense that they're coming from their wounds. We're living a time where we are all bearing witness to and basically paying the price for enormous trauma to the heart. And we know that from the lack of empathy, the displays, the ways in which it's all about buttressing the president's ego. You might say, oh, that sounds judgmental. It's not. There's a difference between seeing what's happening in reality, watching it, and knowing where it comes from, and saying, this behavior, this isn't right, this is not who I want to be running the country. It has pernicious effects on so many people. And at the same time, I don't have to be filled with hate. I can sort of say, this is trauma. This is trauma being spewed all over our country. And that's why there's so many people who actually support him. Their trauma is triggered too. So just sit with me for a minute. And maybe call to mind somebody. It can be the president, it can be the vice president, it can be another public figure, another elected official. It could be a family member, somebody that really challenges your heart to stay open. You can really feel it clench. Oh, they don't deserve my empathy. They do. So they're not awake. They haven't woken up. That's what you can hope for. You can hope that somebody's experienced their pain. Even getting COVID could be an awakening moment, a moment that says, that snaps them out of their pain. They can see it and say, oh, this is how I've been. I don't have to be this way. I can be different in this world. There's another way than for me just speaking from my wounds. That's what you can hold on to. Because we've all been a version of that at some point in our lives. Some point in our lives, we were filled with pain and we were speaking from it and acting out of it, inflicting it on others until somehow, some way, somebody, God, the universe, woke us up. Just feel into your heart what it's like to contemplate this person. All of their pain, all their negativity, all their spewing, the outrage. Just keeping your heart open to it. Staying present. Not backing away. It ain't easy. This is like a precursor to a metta practice. We're not actually verbalizing anything. If you know metta or loving kindness, it's, send wishes to different people, including difficult people. Just staying with the feeling, what it's like to be with the difficult person. Your heart really wants to clench. We're exercising our heart right now. This is like little reps for the heart. It's building resilience. This is a form of resilience, to stay present, to stay open-hearted, to stay empathetic. You might think, well, it sounds like we're just letting our, giving into an abuser, treating them like they're the victim. Again, it's not. You can distinguish between the actions and know that they're wrong, they're not beneficial, they're karmically bad, they hurt other people, and still keep your heart open, because you know that this wound is deep. I'm doing this for my own family members. I have several family members really, really angry at the world, really hate all liberals. Might even be willing to see my marriage dissolved so that they can keep immigrants out, overturn Roe v. Wade, whatever it is that they feel is most important to them. It's hard for me to keep my heart open when they tell me, sometimes directly, sometimes by suggestion or innuendo, that my life isn't that important. It's far more important to build a border wall. What's coming up for you now? This is just a staying present practice, just feeling into what's coming up for you. Feelings of anger, outrage, maybe sadness, sense that you can't do anything to change anybody, powerless in the face of machinery, of parties, boards of election, courts. You just staying present to it, a sense of love, open-heartedness. That does something. That is a form of divine activism. And then you can just relax, accept where your heart clenches. It's okay. Not holding to any standard or any way that requires to be your heart tighten up. You're like, nope, no empathy here. Bye-bye. Bye, Felicia. Whatever's coming up for you, I get it. Just let that be there as well. Compassion for yourself. Just allowing all of that feeling. And staying with it, being loving towards it as well. Your own anger, your own hatred. Not acting out on it, just letting it be there. This practice is a precursor to forgiveness. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. All right, talk to you then. Bye.